and if you know them, they'll tell you. Or they laugh about it, joke with you. Don't call us Indians. Indians are the same and Eskimos. We're not the same people. They hate each other. We've already talked about that. They don't like each other. But they don't want to be called First Nations, Native Americans. The Eskimos say, we're Eskimos. Call us Eskimos. And many Indians say the same thing. The non-reactionary, and half the reactionary Indians aren't Indians anyways. I'm more really an Indian than half of that. I want to scream about it. Anyways, they prefer that, but all that aside, this is an Eskimo line because we know where it goes from after this. I'm going to be talking about that, but just accept it now. There is also a series of people that we've got dates for, and we're going to get to that as we move south. But it occurs up in Alaska too, and they had to get into North America somehow, that don't use these kinds of cores and they don't make microblades. And they're thought to be almost certainly a different influx of a different culture and a different group of people. And they're Europe related, just what we were talking about. These big cores, Levalloisian and Mousterian, where you lop the top off and get a flat top, and then you strike big blades, not microblades. Now there's other things I can say, but they don't do that in Siberia or down in Southeast Asia. There's one place that it occurs, and that's in Europe and the adjacent areas of the Near East. And yet we have other people coming in very early, and we've got radiocarbon dates. They're using totally different cores and blades, not microblades, and they're not just up there, they're all over both the Americas to Terra del Fuego. That means from the furthest north to the very furthest south that you can go. You can't, and I know. I'll tell you when we get there, because it's coming up. If you're standing on the very most southerly site down there, it's a cave, 2 caves, and spit, it would land in the Magellan Straits right there. You can't go any further. So the second wave, they're all over the place. And they're using Western-derived, European-type upper Paleolithic cores and blades. And these people become and are what are called Paleo-Indian, the ones that hunted mammoth and mastodon. And out of the blades, they're making these big fluted points, maybe about this size in reality, beautifully flaked and fashioned. And then the very last thing, and I've talked about this before, is they strike a flute off of both faces from the base to make it thinner so it will fit into a handle or a shaft. Now they had fluted points for spears